You are currently sitting there, just cruising through your feed, when suddenly your jaw decides to perform a pure physical violation of your face. Your mouth opens like a skibidi hippopotamus, your eyes water, and for 3 seconds, you look like you're trying to swallow a basketball. You just yawned. But then the scandalous part happens. Your bro sitting across from you sees it, and suddenly his brain decides it needs to perform the same involuntary NPC glitch. Now you're both sitting there, mouths agape, looking like a pair of NPCs whose animations are lagging in a simulation. What the flip is going on here? Why does your brain, this lump of meat with the consistency of Jell-O, force you to do this? Is it because you're bored? Is it because you're lacking oxygen? Or is it because your brain is literally indistinguishable from magic? Well, it's actually quite simple. No, it's not. That was a lie. Science kind of breaks when we talk about yawning, and honestly, the truth is way more out of pocket than you think. Let's start with the biggest cap in human history. For years, people, including probably your grandma Beatrice, claimed that we yawn because our little guys, the thousands, millions, billions of neurons, are gasping for air. The theory was that you were low on oxygen, so your brain triggered a giant inhale to refresh the tank. Dudes in a lab actually tested this. They gave people pure oxygen, and they still yawned. They gave people high levels of CO2, and they didn't yawn more. So the oxygen theory is a pure violation of logic. If yawning was just about air, you'd do it while sprinting a marathon, but you don't. You do it when you're watching a 4-hour documentary on the history of bread. So if it's not oxygen, what is it? We need to look at the conglomerate of all human knowledge to find the real culprit: your brain's radiator. Your brain is a high-performance machine. It's like a standard internet router, the thalamus. It's doing a million things a second. But if it gets too hot, the lag becomes absolutely scandalous. See, your brain needs to stay at a very specific temperature to keep those adorable little angels, the neurotransmitters, doing their thing. When you get tired or bored, your brain's temperature starts to rise. It's jit cruising towards an overheat. When you yawn, you're not just taking a breath, you're performing a radiator flush. The big intake of cool air and the stretching of your jaw increases blood flow to the face and neck. The cool air chills the blood in your nasal and oral cavities, which then travels up to the brain to cool down the wrinkle clusters. Basically, a yawn is your brain's way of saying, yo, I'm getting a bit cooked. Let's flip the fan on. This is why you yawn more in the winter than the summer. The air is cooler, so the forbidden cocktail of temperature regulation works better. If the air is as hot as your brain, the yawn is a zero-level threat. But why does it feel so aggressive? That's because yawning isn't controlled by the thinky part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex. No, this is handled by the 260-pound Bruiser, the Limbic System. The Limbic System has been around as long as animals themselves. It handles the main characters, like dopamine and serotonin. When you're transitioning from being awake to falling asleep, or vice versa, the limbic system sees a change in the vibe. It sends out a signal that bodies the rational brain and forces the jaw to stretch. This is also why you yawn when you're stressed. Your amygdala, which is responsible for fear and anxiety, starts firing like crazy. Your brain gets hot from the stress, and the limbic system steps in to cool things down before you have a mini seizure of awkwardness. The biology of this signal is a pure chain reaction. Inside the tails of your neurons, you have charged potassium, while the outside has more charged sodium. To trigger the yawn, sensors near where the neurons connect open chemically activated doors to let in a positive charge. If the signals are strong enough, all the doors open, and the charge reaches the end, causing an action potential. It's a lot of action causing a lot of potential just to make you look like a yawning ape. Now we get to the freakish part, the contagion. Why did you probably just yawn because I've mentioned it 15 times? This comes down to social consistency. Research shows that if you don't react to an uncomfortable situation, you're seen as less trustworthy. The same applies to yawning. Deep in your brain, you have things called mirror neurons. These are the little guys that help you empathize. When you see bro yawn, your mirror neurons fire as if you were the one yawning. It's a form of the proximity principle. In the animal kingdom, a group yawn is a vibe check. It tells the rest of the gremlin gang that it's time to sync up our sleep schedules or stay alert for predators. If you don't catch a contagious yawn, science suggests you might have lower levels of empathy, or you're just a jit who isn't paying attention. Interestingly, the closer you are to someone, like your closest friends in an MIT dormitory, the more likely you are to catch their yawn. It's a proximity thing. You're literally syncing your brain temperatures with the people you like. No cap, that's actually kind of beautiful. Or creepy. It's a fine line. Some scientists think yawning is an epiphenomenon, or what people who only know regular person words call an Easter egg of the brain. It might not have a primary function anymore.
It could just be collateral damage of our brain's complex wiring. Much like how REM sleep vegetabilizes you so you don't act out your dreams of picnicking with Tom Hiddleston, yawning might just be a leftover ritual from when we were less evolved apes. Think about it. Even fish yawn. Snakes yawn. Even your dog Julius yawns. It's a universal action potential that reminds us we're all just biological machines running on salt and electricity. It's an involuntary if-then statement programmed into our gray outer layer. But here is the spooky part. Despite all our frequency hopping through different theories, we still don't really know. Just like anesthesia and consciousness, yawning is a mystery that science hasn't fully cooked yet.
We know the little guys are talking. We know the thalamus router is involved, and we know it makes you look stupid in meetings. But the why is still a bit of a philosophical path unknown. Is it a message from the unconscious? Is it a way to prep for threats? Or is it just a glitch in the jello? The duration of a yawn might even be relative. If you're moving at 100 miles per hour on a train, does your yawn hit different? According to special relativity, time literally slows down as you move faster. So maybe a yawn on a spaceship moving near the cosmic speed limit feels like it lasts for an eternity. Legit crazy. When we look at the brain chemicals involved, it gets even messier. You have glutamate letting ions in and GABA letting them out just for the vibes. Dopamine, the main character of main characters, is probably tuning the whole experience, helping the neurons fire or stop firing depending on how bussin' your current environment is. So the next time you yawn and bro catches it, just remember, you're actually just syncing your radiators like a couple of high-tech internet routers. It's not awkward. It's universally bussin'. Science kind of breaks here, and honestly, I'm still a bit confused. But as we always say, it's better to be confused with a buddy than it is to be confused alone. Your total for the exit fee today is 1 subscribe. I'm gonna flip this tablet around, and you're gonna tip me in the form of a like. If you don't, it's gonna be a pure physical violation of our friendship, and I'll have to assume your MHC molecules are incompatible with mine. Stay wrinkly, apes. See ya.